Can two misdemeanors lead to someone being deported under immigration laws? Hello, everyone. This is attorney Andre McKinney Dorval, licensed immigration attorney, and I am located in the state of Florida. First off, to all of my subscribers, thank you so much for your support. And to my new subscribers, welcome. Guys, in this video, we are discussing, can two misdemeanors cause you to be deported? More specifically, we're talking about in the case of a green card holder. I want to share with you a story about a individual who has been a green card holder for more than half a century, approximately 58 years, and he is now facing deportation. Allow me to share my screen so we can take a look at this story together. And then I'm going to share some information with you concerning misdemeanors and a few things that you should know. Now, this article is being reported by Newsweek, and the title of the article, the headline reads, Green Card Holder for 58 Years Faces Deportation. Let's see what the article has to say. The article reads that Victor Avila, a 66-year-old long-term U.S. green card holder who legally immigrated in 1967 and has held a green card since, was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Avila was returning home, visiting his son, who was a member of the U.S. Air Force, when he was detained. Now, the article says that Newsweek has reached out to ICE and to Kiwan and Chambers, the law firm Avila works for comment. Let's go a little bit further down. The article goes on to say Avila is a resident of San Diego, California, and who works as a legal assistant for the law firm of Kiwan and Chambers, representing injured workers. And he has worked there over a decade. It says that he's a father and a grandfather. His daughter, Karina Mejia, spoke to KGTV San Diego and told the outlet that in 2009, Mejia had been pulled over and arrested for a DUI and drug possession, and he ultimately served a few months in jail. The article goes on to say, two misdemeanors, served all his time, paid all he had to pay, Mejia said. Since then, he's been a good man, a hard worker. Hasn't gotten into trouble, not one time. He's dedicated himself to his family. This article goes on to indicate that Karina Mejia, his daughter, is quoted as saying that he's visited him several times in ICE custody. He's hopeful, optimistic. Is quoted as saying, she does say that her dad is mentally preparing himself for the worst and that she wants her dad back and back home. And the article goes on to indicate that Mr. Avila's deportation hearing has been scheduled for July 15th at a Bakersfield area ICE facility with his family and legal team preparing a defense. Guys, there's a lot in that article. First off, number one, Mr. Avila is a green card holder. Number two, he's been a green card holder since 1967. Number three, it says that he legally entered the country from Mexico. The article goes on to say that in 2009 is when he faced the two misdemeanor charges, one for DUI, and it said a drug possession. It didn't give much detail in terms of what kind of drug possession, but what the article does indicate based on the interview with his daughter is that those two criminal charges, based on the article, are misdemeanors. Now, in answering the question for today's video, can two misdemeanors get you deported under immigration laws? And the answer is yes, it is possible to be deported for two misdemeanors. Now, one of the things that I want you to understand with regards to criminal laws and misdemeanors, whether it's under state or federal law, and that is that whether something is classified as a crime being a misdemeanor or a felony under state or federal law, that's not the sole factor to look at as far as what type of consequence someone can face if they, in fact, are placed in removal. And the reason for that is because under uh, immigration law and the INA has its own definition and categories of what crimes can lead to a deportation. Now, we're going to assume a few things. Let's assume that the two misdemeanors that the news article reports are crimes that involve moral turpitude. And crimes involving moral turpitude, also referred to as CIMT, there's no exact or precise definition, but what the immigration laws consider crimes involving moral turpitude to be are crimes that are considered inherently base, inherently vile, depraved, or crimes that are contrary to accepted rules of morality or society among people or society as a whole. So let's give a couple of examples of what are a few crimes that could be considered involving moral turpitude. This could include theft, such as petty theft or shoplifting. This could be fraud, even minor fraud. This could be an assault with the intent to cause harm or serious bodily injury. This could be crimes involving dishonesty or deceit, some sex-related type offenses, or conspiracy to commit a crime that could be considered a crime involving moral turpitude. So it's important to note that many misdemeanors can be classified as crimes involving moral turpitudes, even if they seem minor under state or federal law. Now, what I also want you to know is that while Mr. Avila in the article is a green card holder, crimes involving moral turpitude can also affect anyone who is a non-citizen, whether you are a green card holder, someone who has temporary type of status, or someone who is completely undocumented. It is really important if you are someone with a criminal history or law enforcement encounter to definitely consult with an immigration attorney. Now, it's interesting because Mr. Avila, according to the article, he has traveled to visit his son in the Air Force and came back. It also talks about that he also renewed his green card 2 times since the 2009 arrest. So it's unclear if the current administration is using a policy, regardless of whether or not you have renewed your green card. If you have a criminal encounter, even for misdemeanors, whether you are going to be subject to ICE arrest. And guys, from the start of the birth of our channel, we've been talking about mass deportation and how this current administration is going to be using all kinds of means to amass the greatest amount of individuals to achieve the mass deportation agenda. And in this case, we have someone who's been working with a law firm over 10 years. He's been a green card holder for more than half of a century, and he has renewed his green card twice, and he's now being arrested for 2 misdemeanors that occurred almost 20 years ago. Guys, I wanted to share this with you. Please share this video so that we are all aware of what's happening, because at this point, anyone who's a non-citizen is at risk of being arrested. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye-bye.